New York City may be America's melting pot, but when I'm in the mood for a diverse menu in New England, I know just where to look. Hi, I'm Emily Rodney at Market in the newly opened W Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts, where the menu is spicing things up in Beantown. Let's go behind the burner and meet the chef. I'm here with Chef Chris Damskey. Chris, what are we making today?
We are going to be making our Rice Cracker Crusted Tuna with sriracha and citrus emulsion. So what we have here is #1 yellowfin tuna, and we actually have closer to the tail loin. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you how to cut the batons from it. I have a little bit of lukewarm water. You don't want hot water because you're cutting raw protein, and you just want to have the water go down the blade of the...
So the water kind of helps guide through the fish nice and smoothly? Exactly,
and it also helps separate it. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to try to size this up and judge it. The side's a little bit different. I'm going to take off in the corner one large piece. Okay?
That's nice.
Kind of set that aside and do another one.
And it looks like you're kind of measuring it with your thumb, like a guideline.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I mean, you kind of want to... After, normally we would have the scales out and portion them to 2.5, 3 ounces for each baton, but after doing X amount and X amount, you kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah. So Chef, what's our next step?
Okay, well we got 2 of them because we're trying to get ahead on the sauce, and then I'm going to take you through the breading process of the actual tuna.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to talk about the sauce so that we can give it a chance to steep. What we have here is dried bonito.
And what is bonito?
Bonito is actually tuna that has been dried and cured almost like in a jerky process. So we're going to let this steep so that it fully hydrates for about 15 minutes. We're going to strain it off and just be left with the liquid. And then we're going to go on to the breading of the tuna. So in this bowl, we have just ground up rice crackers, which you can find in any Asian grocery market. What we're doing here is we're actually going to make a protein bond to adhere the rice crackers to the tuna, so we're going to use egg whites.
That's a good binder.
Exactly, and it's going to make a nice, thin, crispy, uniform coat over the top, and it's going to be a little bit more durable when we go to cut it. We're going to always start with our egg whites. It's about 3 egg whites to about... Well, lightly just whisk it just to break up and start to lightly froth the eggs. It's one of those that you kind of go by eye. You're looking for about 2 ounces of cornstarch. What we have, the liquid has gotten a lot more viscous. You can actually see that when I'm whisking it, you can see the trails that are coming through.
And the viscosity is just making it a little thicker, like we were saying before.
Think of it like, for those of you that are the home pastry chefs and whatnot, when you're actually whisking egg whites and you can start to see trails in the egg whites, same kind of principle. The next part, this is where it gets interesting. So, we're going to set up what they would call a standard breading procedure.
Okay.
We're going to have a rack. We're going to have our rice crackers. And we're going to start with our egg whites and our lovely, lovely tuna that we have here. So what we're going to do in our hand, making sure that we kind of, very gently treat the tuna. I like to always make sure that you hold between the thumb and the pinky finger.
That's a
so that
good
you can
tip.
kind of support, and it kind of gives it a little balance. We're just going to actually roll it in that mixture, okay? And then kind of very lightly just roll it in our hand.
Make sure it's evenly coated.
Exactly. But if you see, making sure that it's evenly coated, but also that we don't have big clumps of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I'm going to scoop this out. I'm going to make a little nest right inside of the rice cracker. We're just going to kind of shake it. So all I'm doing is just lightly coating the rice cracker and rolling it through. You want to make sure that you have all uniform coverage, and then just lightly pressing it in.
Okay.
All right. And then we have the actual finished project, which we just let rest on the rack. The reason why we put this on a rack is underneath, you want to make sure that you have the air be able to contact all the way around, because this egg white mixture, once it comes in contact with the air, has to have a second to kind of solidify.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it just sits on the bottom of the rack, or the pan without a rack, that bottom part's not going to air dry, and it'll fall off. Good to go here. I'm going to start frying stuff up. What I'm doing is I'm taking our little sizzle trays with a little towel on there to blot from the oil, because you want to make sure all the grease is off. I've lightly sprinkled a little bit of salt so that when we take it out, we can put it right onto a lightly seasoned tray, and then we can season all the way around it. So we have our deep fryer. This dish does work best when it's deep fried. You can pan fry it, but it's not the same effect. We have it at about 375 degrees. What we're going to do is you make sure that that oil is hot. Okay? And then you're literally going to just drop it in till it starts to turn golden brown, which is about 15 seconds. This is all that this dish takes. Like I said, you want to make sure that you just get it crispy on the outside, but still raw on the inside. I'm gonna give it just a nice little shake here, not too aggressive. And then we're just gonna roll that out onto our towel that's already been lightly seasoned. And then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt so that's seasoned all the way around. When you're deep frying something, you only get one chance to season it because of all the oil, and that's right when it comes out of the fryer. So you wanna make sure that you maximize that time and have your salt ready to go right, not like I do with a little pan. And that's it. Now we'll go take it to the plate. This is where it all comes together.
Okay.
All right, so we have our emulsion, we have our tuna that's deep fried. The only other, I guess, garnish for this is the sliced scallion, which actually goes in the vinaigrette. We're gonna cut this into 5 easy, even slices. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually put it on the plate. Okay. Then just right alongside, I'm gonna put that dressing, and that is your finished dish.
Well, it looks great. Let's go try it. Okay.